Hey class, it is day 158, May 13th, 2020, and we're going to get started with our math lesson. Make sure you write your first name, last name, circle your homeroom so we can get started. Now, today's BDN is pretty simple. It says solve. So that means that we have to put our focus on the order of operation. The first two problems are subtraction. The middle one is addition. So please take your time in borrowing, regrouping, and making sure that our answers are correct. Press pause. When you return, my answer will be on here and we will work through it together as a class. But make sure you do your due diligence and try to answer these problems on your own. Press pause. Welcome back. Here are your answers. If you correctly borrowed, regrouped, and even took the extra step to add our difference and the number we were subtracting from to come up with 12,000, you are correct. The answer is 10,706. We had to do the same thing for the additional problem. We had to borrow, we had to regroup, and we had to make sure that each number was aligned throughout the process to come up with the correct answer. For the addition problem, alignment was the key. If we aligned 6 and 5, we got 11. We put the ones place total at the bottom, and we carried the tens place over. And we have 4 plus 3, which is 7. But if we have this 1 at the top, that makes it 8. And now we have the 8 and the 9, which is 17. So we put the ones place total right here, which is 7. And we carry over the 1. So now we have 2 and 2, that's 4, plus 1. And I made a mistake. That total would be 5, and now we have our correct answer for all three problems. Now let's flip the page and keep it moving. Now, today's aim will be Kipsters will be able to multiply a multi-digit number by a single-digit number without regrouping using a place value chart and algorithm. Now, we know what multiplication is, so we can go ahead and answer that. Multiplication is repeated addition. Now, the answer to a multiplication problem is called a, you are absolutely correct, it is called a product. Now, we have an example. Let's change it to somebody that you know. Mr. Smith loves to read. He reads 32 pages every night. He did this for 3 nights in a row. How many pages did he read? So if day 1 he read 32 pages, day 2 he read 32 pages, and day 3 he read 32 pages, how can we figure this out? So we've already shown a visual of what's going on. Now, if we wanted to do it as repeated addition, we would do 32 plus 32 plus 32 equals, and if we wanted to represent it as a multiplication problem, we would simply write 32 times 3. Now let's figure this out. 32 plus 32 plus 32. So I'm going to get out a piece of scrap paper and pencil, and I'm going to align these numbers going up and down so I can know what is shown in my ones place and what's shown in my tens place. So if I have 30 in the tens place and then I have 2 in the ones place, all I have to do is count them all together if I've represented them the 3 times that it should be multiplied. So all together I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And let's write that in there so we can remember. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in the ones place again, I have 6. So let me write that number down somewhere in that box to represent. So I know without even going through the algorithm that my answer would be 93. And I'm going to put that in the right spot because we have to make sure that we are aligning the answers with the problem. So I made it look real easy. And it can be really easy to solve this kind of problem on your own. Just make sure you come back to this problem if you get stuck on the independent practice. So we know that Mr. Smith reads 93 pages. He read 93 pages. Now, we know that when we're answering a word problem, we have to give the complete answer in words. That's why this step is necessary. Mr. Smith read 93 pages. All right, flip the page. We have another problem. This problem is about Miss Simmons, and it says Miss Simmons went shopping last week. She bought 3 dresses. Each dress cost $133. So we know that number 1 was $133. And then dress number 2 was $133. And we know that dress number 3 was $133. So let me make that a representation. And we have all the information that we need to know right in front of our face. So if we were to do this as repeated addition, we'd say 133 plus 133 plus 133 equals. And for our multiplication representation, we would simply write 133 times 3. Now, let's put that it equals. We already have it listed out for us in our place value chart. We have one dress, which is represented as 133. Dress number 2, which is represented as 133. And dress number 3, which is represented as 133. If we counted them all together in their own spaces, for this one we would have 300. For tens we would have, let's count them up, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, we would have 90. And for ones we would have 9. Now, instead of working this all out in our standard algorithm, all we have to do is look at our place value chart, and we know that our answer is 399. All right, so Miss Simmons spent $399. Miss Simmons must be balling because I can't afford to spend $399 on one shopping trip. All right, let's keep it moving. And for the next portion of today's work, they want us to find the product using the algorithm. So we're going to do it as easy as possible. So we're going to do it as repeated addition. So 402 plus 402 plus 402 gives us a total of, let me underline that, start from the ones place, we got 246. The tens place, we got 0. And then in the hundreds place, we have 4 plus 4, which is 8. And if we add 4 more, that makes 12. So our total is 1,206. 1,206. Next, we're going to do number 5 as repeated addition. We have 324 plus 324, and we're going to add these together because, again, we're using repeated addition. We're going to put a line under that, and when we start from the ones place, we know that 4 plus 4 is 8. Next, we have 2 plus 2, which is 4. And if you see me working this out, guys, that's because that's the easiest way to do it. Trying to do mental math and do this in your head will be extremely difficult. A piece of paper and pencil will definitely help you out in this process. And last, in our hundreds place, we have 6 because we're adding 3 plus 3. All right, so our product is 648. Now, lastly, we have 110 times 5. So that means we have to add 110 5 times. That's a bunch of times, right? We can do it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got it 5 times. We're going to make sure that is underlined. And when we move to the next space, we can take the underline off. In the ones place, we have all zeros, so we're just going to bring the 0 down. In the tens place, we have 1, so let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our total is 5. And lastly, in the hundreds place, we have 5 also. So we can just count them going down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place the 5 in the hundreds place. So our product for this question would be 550. If you got those answers, that's awesome. If you didn't, go back and see where you got it wrong through me working it out. Now, it's time for independent practice. We have a word problem where you have to show the repeated addition, show the multiplication, and give a visual representation in the hundreds, tens, and ones spot. Last, you have to do the standard algorithm and answer the problem. Make sure you put your product here because you will not get your points if you don't fill it out correctly. And then we have the same thing moving forward. And what I wanted you guys to work on in addition is your rolling 3s and rolling 4s. Now we will work on these in our live Zoom class that we have been doing all week. Each class starts at 12 noon. During that time, we will be working on ELA and math together as a class because I figure if you saw my face and the work at the same time, we could work through all the issues that are occurring when you're trying to get the work done with your parents. So make sure you log in today at noon so we can get our sing song on. Who doesn't want to do threes, good as go? All right, so meet me at noon. Make sure you finish your independent practice and your exit ticket, and I'll see you guys in the Zoom meeting. Have a great day.